Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. I've written a couple of books. Second one is going to be published very soon. First one is just an overview of teaching methods. You can get them both at studio-nemo.com. Also, ping me at Duolingo Educator Network. And I'd love to discuss things and collaborate and bounce ideas off of people. And I'm also newly very involved in the Minecraft Education Ambassadors. Very excited about that. So ping me in either of those places. Or, of course, comment under the video. But in this series, I'm talking about the Harvard Project Zero thinking routines and how to adapt them for use in the world language classroom. Today, we're going to talk about one of the core thinking routines: claim, support, and question. And I'm just going to assume you're going to go straight to there. I do not own the thinking routines. I'm just trying to adapt them for use in my classroom. So they are available at pz.harvard.edu/thinking-routines. All right, this one, claim, support, question, is also in their subsection of digging deeper into ideas. Their little byline is a routine for reasoning with evidence. So first of all, let's talk about how to use this when teaching grammar explicitly. Now, teaching grammar explicitly could mean you've got a pop-up grammar lesson. You're just teaching along and somebody asks, hey, why is there an extra S on the end of that word or whatever? And you just quickly explain it and then move on with your comprehensible input. You could be using the grammar translation method. This is a very old method. People still use it. It's still the method of choice for many schools in Japan. You're just teaching students how to translate. You could be using the audiolingual method, and you're doing a transformation drill, and you're explaining why something happens when you're using a different noun or a different verb, or how things transform in the sentence. Or you could be just teaching straight out of your textbook and you need a grammar lesson. A lot of people are poo-pooing grammar lessons. I think you need them. I teach students from the ages of 14 through 18, and sometimes I even give lessons to adults in my community. And I can tell you that pattern recognition, that when you teach grammar, that's going to move you ahead light years. It's going to get you so fast in the learning. I find with this one, a T-chart works best. All right, so you've got your claim, a support, and your questions, okay? So claim, the plural is formed by adding an S. You make a little T-chart of it, give students a list of words and have them identify any patterns that they see. And if something doesn't fit the pattern, keep pushing the students to adjust their mental model of the rule, okay? I used to do this an awful lot. I'd have the students do a lot of logic puzzles and stuff with it, but I found it doesn't aid memory retention quite so much as good old drill and kill. And, I've got my colleague next door likes to say, I only have 180 instructional hours a year. And so you really gotta, what gives us the most bang for the buck? And although these are fun and I do use them, mostly I go to drill and kill. And here's Blue-Kit. Blue-Kit is a lot of fun. Blue-Kit is great. I can put all my drill and kill in Blue-Kit, and the students don't even know that they're being drilled and killed. And then I can even put my metacognitive questions in Blue-Kit. And the metacognitive is that part of the thinking routine, like here, just getting them to think about the rules of the language. So I found that worked much faster than what I had been doing. But I do use this as a review. Okay, you guys, you already know. Let's just go over it again, and they can identify the patterns really easily that way if it's as a review, okay? When you're teaching literature, culture, history, or art, which you should be doing the majority of the time, even if you're doing a lot of grammar, let's put the literature and the culture and the history and the art into our lessons as much as possible. So before class happens, you sit down and try to predict what the students are going to claim for a character motivation, or what the students are going to predict is going to happen in a story, or what the students are going to say, this happened because this happened. Why did the story unfold the way it unfolded? But that prediction that you are making is very crucial to making your life easier and making sure that the lesson unfolds smoothly for the students. Then you got to sit down and make some sentence frames. okay, and a word bank. Make your word banks. Don't be afraid to use word banks. Don't be afraid to use sentence frames. The students that are sailing along in class, they're just naturally not going to look at the word bank. Okay, the word bank is going to be self-selected for the students that need more support. You're building in your differentiation. This is a solid part of UDL. Don't shy away from it. Okay, so here I have an example of one I did for French class. Marinette doesn't recognize Adrian. See, these are two superheroes, and of course, once they put on the masks, they have no idea who each other are, even though they see each other for 8 hours a day during school. They don't change their hair. They have the same voices. It doesn't matter. They still don't recognize each other. So here's my word bank. Maybe they have masks on, maybe magic, that somebody's hypnotized. Maybe they're just stupid. My students always want to talk about how stupid they are. They're in love. And I did it from her point of view, so I did the feminine. Maybe they're shy, whatever. But it's the same T-chart, using the target language, sentence frame, and a word bank. Okay? So whenever you do this, you're always going to have the students think on their own first. Don't let them start talking to each other yet, because then you'll find that one person's doing all the cognitive lifting. Let them think on their own. Have them make a little T-chart on paper and write for just a couple minutes. That think time is very important. And then you can have them talk to an elbow partner or a small table group. And then you can open it up to whole class. Okay, so it's always smaller to largest. That way, look, every time they do this, they're getting more language practice with the same language. You need that repetition, right? Repetition is the key to success. Also, repetition is the key to success. So here, they've done it on their own. Now they've got the scaffold in front of them as they talk to their friends. Okay, they've got this sheet of paper that they just wrote to look down at. It's helping support them. All right, and now they can have the whole group discussion that you wanted to have to begin with. Okay, but they've got all that scaffolding in place. In our next episode, we're going to talk about compass points. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you next time.